almost have to now. There's a new app. I saw there's a new app. I don't know if it's real, but there's a new app where you can like
Oh,
send
that's
them a
real.
request to their phone number for consent. Is that
Oh
real?
no, that's real. This was actually mandated by some universities. They ended up scrapping it because people protested it. But yeah, no, there was a mandatory like app for like I think it might have been UCLA or something, and like you had to like on the app be like, do you consent? And then they had to be like, yes, I consent. And then the app was like, wait, have you been drinking? And you have to be like, yes or no. And like it's just fucking crazy to get the government in between like our sexual relations, and like it's just weird, man. I understand bad things happen and they will always happen, and that fucking sucks, but I think the majority of guys like just want to have like a regular relationship. There's nothing weird going on there.
My dick would be soft after that process. Like, I'm ready to fuck, and I'm just like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna jerk off. If that's
come
cool.
on, Andy. You can do a little recording, a little audio recording. You just open the recorder and you're like, hello, do you consent? What is your name? What is your age?
Can you imagine her like be like, hey, can I get your Wi-Fi password? And like type it in. It's like, oh, sorry, wrong Wi-Fi password. Like trying to log in. You're sitting there like, come on, let's go. Like that would be miserable. I would hate that.
Yeah,
but that's like where we have to. Normal people have to go there now. Normal people have to be worried about that. But if you want to walk down the street with like 8-year-olds dressed up as drag queens, waving your dick around at them, like that's normal. That's cool. That's okay. And that's totally normal. But now, for a normal guy and a normal girl to have a relationship, it's like a legal like contractual obligation.
Well, that goes back to the media. I mean, look at what the media is pushing, and they literally, like you said, why is it normal for someone who's trans waving a rainbow dick, dick slapping everyone? Oh, that's so cute. Like I feel bad. There's like some 6-year-old they're like putting him in drag queen dresses, and he's like this little
Lactatia.
Yeah, like that is child abuse, man. That is fucking disgusting. But you have to look at the root cause. Why is this happening? This is not an organic happening. This is happening because of the media. This is happening because of the cultural Marxist media, and we all know who runs the media, right? Maybe I don't know if I can name them here, but the point is,
Mormons.
that's the Mormons control the media, exactly. But I think it just becomes more and more evident how JF was saying earlier, like, why should you feel guilty if you're just like two white people who want to have a normal marriage, normal sex, and have kids? Like, why should you be shamed just to have like a normal relationship? And why is some like complete degenerate type activity celebrated? It's pushed to kids. They're giving kids hormones. I find that incredibly wrong. And I've said this before, like, whatever, if you want to do weird shit in your bedroom and you're like 18 plus, like, go fucking ahead. I don't fucking care. But as far as like pushing it to kids and then looking down on people who just want to have normal relationships, I find that insane. And I think it ties in with the immigration, because at the same time that they're pushing in all these people that will not assimilate with our culture, then they're telling people who are the foundations, the boulders of our country, that they can't reproduce in a normal and a healthy way.
Baked Alaska, do you believe that the elite that controls media is consciously engaging into an anti-natalist policy against Americans?
Yeah, I do believe that. I've seen, I used to work at BuzzFeed. They hate white people. They literally, when I was hired at BuzzFeed, they were like, oh shit, we have to hire another white male. Like, they were actually disappointed. And if you were to say that about any other race, you would be, in so much trouble. And I see the media just time and time again. It's like constantly, they hate white people, they hate males, they hate Christianity, they hate normal straight marriages. And so, yeah, I do think it is an attack on our country. BuzzFeed, for example, the owner, not a lot of people know this, the owner is Jonah Peretti. He's Jewish, and he's the brother of Chelsea Peretti, who is married to the Key and Peele guys. And he also co-founded the Huffington Post. So one other thing I like people to look into, and I'm not saying that there's some I don't even know if some of these people are conscious of it. So I think some people maybe are sort of just dragged in and they think it's trendy, but there are some people at the top that don't like nationalists. They don't like our country being together because we are more powerful when we are together, and they attack us. But one thing I want people to notice is go look on Snapchat News, go look on these social Twitter Moments or Apple News, and the majority of all these news sites are all left-wing sites. They're all pushing weird agendas, and most of them are owned by the same company. And this makes me sad because it actually tricks kids these days. So there's a group called Condé Nast, and they own GQ, they own Golf Digest, they own Wired, they own like 50 different brands that all look different. And I noticed in Snapchat News, like 80% of the stories are from Condé Nast. And so it's really troubling because kids these days might go there and they might be like, oh, I don't really like, Wired. I don't like GQ, but let me check out, this other website here. Surely Golf Digest wouldn't have some weird bias, but in fact they do. And there's only a couple of these groups and they control so many media companies. It's just disgusting. So I think like at least people need to be more aware that a lot of their media is literally coming from the same source, only a couple companies.
If I could jump in and just present another a thing to think about too. If you're suspicious of some kind of media agenda, if you're suspicious of some kind of media agenda to drive down birth rates in European countries and the United States and the West more broadly, ask yourself this: why are there so many articles telling people in publications like The Guardian or the New York Times or Washington Post, so many articles saying that, overpopulation is a concern. We need to cut down on overpopulation. We have too many people in the world. We have too many people. They're consuming too many resources. So you need to stop having kids in your Western European country, in your European country, in America. Stop having kids. That same publication at the same time will run an article that says, here's why we need more immigrants from the third world to replace the native population, to work and pay for Social Security, to pay for social programs, because our population's aging, we need to replace them. Wouldn't it be intuitive to say, hey, let's just have our own kids so they can replace us and they can be the workers? Why is it that these media elites, these rootless, transnational, cosmopolitan media elites are telling Americans that we need to stop having kids and at the same time open the borders? Think about that question and go check out some of the articles, and you'll be really enlightened, I think.
All right, James, you're being way too polite, so I'm going to do the Alex John thing here. You want to know what the globalist future looks like? A boot stomping onto your face constantly.
Oh, have you seen, I saw two recent articles. One was for ladies, you must have sex with 25 men before starting a real relationship. Here's why.
Oh,
and
no.
I'm like, what the fuck? And then there was one, why you should, okay, I don't know if this was a parody because it seemed like a parody, but I was trying to look into it and I'm like, this looks pretty real, about why parents should buy sex toys for their kids so they're not like ashamed about masturbating. That's real. I was like, whoa, what? Okay, it's real. Okay, see, like here's the thing is I don't even know what's real or parody anymore. That's how fucked up it is. And I'm like, what? It's fucking insane, man.
Well, I saw an article kind of in the same vein on the Snapchat News. It was like, why cheating on your spouse really isn't that bad. And like, same thing. I thought it was like The Onion. I thought it was like a parody, and it was a real article from like GQ. And it fucking makes me sad, dude. It just like kids will read that, and when you're a kid, you just take things as fact. You don't think like, oh, this could be fake news or this could be something completely insane by some like fucking purple-haired unicorn. So I don't know. It just makes me sad, man. And I think the media companies owe the population. They should have a responsibility, and that's why before we're talking about social media and censorship. That's why I think there should be some sort of accountability, like maybe not total control, but some sort of accountability, because it's just absolutely out of control with the things that they influence our youth with.
It's a big South Park episode. Someone just said,
pretty much.
How do you think a South Park creators feel? It's just like, yep, I don't know what's real anymore. Jesus, it feels like it's a script,
Oh yeah.
Like, yeah, it's pretty fucked up. Do you guys want to wrap it up with final thoughts now, and then JF and I will do the post show?
Yeah, sounds good, dude.
Awesome. All right, Baked, if you want to wrap up with your final thoughts about what we talked about.
All right, yeah. Well, thank you guys for having me on. This was actually really fun. Time flew by. I didn't even notice time was up. But yeah, I appreciate you giving me a platform and you guys just listening to me, letting me talk, not judging me or making me feel weird, but still asking me the hard questions and all that. So if you guys don't know me, I believe my YouTube channel is in the description below. You can subscribe to me there. That'd be awesome. But yeah, I just want to see people have fun this year, create more memes, all in fun. And I really want free speech to come back for real. I want people to be able to talk to each other, even if they hate each other or disagree with each other, because I think that's the only way we can really move forward. If we just both sides just hate each other and the only time we see each other is on the battlefield, Antifa type, Charlottesville type things, I don't think that's going to solve anything. I think we just need to, throw our ego out the window and have real conversations. And I think it actually is happening slowly, but I think we're going to really see it big time this year. So thanks so much, guys, for having me on, and hope to talk to you soon.
Yeah, for sure,
Thanks,
man.
it was great.
All right. Thanks, buddy.
All right, take care.
Peace. And James.
Yeah, well, thanks again for having me on. I like I said, we talked earlier in email, and I really like what's going on with this channel. I think this is something that's needed to happen for a while, and I think it'll only continue to happen more. These type of discussions and streams and really debating the issues. That's what has been lacking for so long. It's been anyone who is alt-right or a nationalist or anything else is cordoned off and is told they can't interact with people. They don't deserve a platform. They can't talk to people. And I think people got sick of that. They wanted to ask, okay, what do these guys believe? What are they saying? And let's actually have the debate. Because if they're wrong, then their arguments will show it. But if they're right, then maybe there's some truth there and stuff that I should look into. So, no, I think the debate series has been awesome, and I look forward to it. And we got to set that up with me and Mike Enoch, because I think that would be fantastic and fun. But yeah, no, it's great. And for 2018, I think that we are going to see a lot more stuff like this. And as long as the debate keeps happening, we'll be moving in the right direction. And I think that the internet censorship is probably going to get worse. To tie it back together here, I think the social media censorship, etc., will keep cracking down. And that's why it's going to be important to have alternatives and to build alternative platforms and to move in a direction that we're going to be resilient and be able to respond to that. So yeah, no, I really appreciated this. Thanks for having me.
Is there a point of disagreement between you and Mike Enoch?
I don't know exactly where that would be. I think obviously stylistically we're very different. Obviously we have very different tone and different way of saying things. I don't know. You'd have to find something that I could say, like a specific policy position. Then I could agree or disagree with it. But I think that he did very well in his debate. So that would be a good time. But yeah, thanks again, guys. Andy, JF, really do appreciate it. And I'd love to be back at some point.
Thanks for coming. It was awesome. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thanks,
Later.
James.